Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tam's Classy Creations, the channel where we break down projects so even a beginner can do them. Today I have a sweet video for you. I think I have gained 10 pounds eating all this candy so I could make these bags for the video. I'm going to show you how to make these vinyl covered candy bag zipper pouches, and boy is that hard to say. Before we get started, I want to ask everyone to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I have some really fun videos coming in the near future. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to go over all the materials you will need to make the zipper pouches. I'll list all of them in the description so you can reference it. First, you'll need a rotary cutter and a ruler. This vinyl is from Heat & Bond and it is glossy. You'll need a zipper any size because we can cut it down. You'll need a material for the lining. Of course, you'll need your bags, your pouches. And we need batting, and I like to use 1/8 inch double-sided adhesive tape. Now here's a couple of the common size bags I use. This is the smallest you could make one with. It's pretty hard to turn, but I still like making it. What you want to do here is we want to make good cuts. The top was cut good when it was opened. So we want to make a really good cut here just to get this off. And then we are going to cut 2 small little things on each side of this to make this 2 pieces. Then this one, we're going to cut the sides, and then after we have that, it'll be in 1 piece. And I'm going to quilt that in 1 piece. I'll show you how we do that. It's a different bag than this. Then I'm going to go in and pull this thing out. This isn't in all the bags, but it's that one that you can squeeze and it's resealable. First thing we want to do is place the vinyl and get it ready to iron on. So I'm pulling off the backing and I'm placing these wrappers on it. Now it does say to use a dry iron, medium heat. So you just try to smooth it out the best you can. Some of these little bags will wrinkle just a little bit. Now you never want to touch your iron to the vinyl. So I usually use this, but you got to be so careful because this is just as big as I cut it. So sometimes I use a pressing sheet, but we're using a medium iron and we are no steam, and we're going to do 8 seconds and then move it. You're going to let this cool, and then the vinyl will be on the bag. So then what I would do next is put a little spray adhesive down, and I would put it on batting, and then I would start stitching it. Free motion, lines. I'll show you a few examples. This bag I just did the straight stitching. On this bag, I did the straight stitching on the 45 angle and just made it squares on the angle. This one, I just did a meandering stitch. And on this one, I did loops, hearts, just a little free motion quilting. Now I'm going to cover this bag with the vinyl and iron it on. Now these, I will cut this bag down even after it's quilted. I want to make sure these lay down this way. The front goes down and the back goes down. So we're going to apply it the same way we did the other vinyl pouch. Smooth it out the best you can. Okay, And now we're going to place this on. After I press that with my iron, then I'm going to put this on the vinyl, and I'm going to do either a meandering or free motion stitch. So I did the stitching. This one I did a 1/2 inch diagonal stitch. This one, real easy. I just did them about 1 inch apart, and I just stitched lines. And this one, just one way, I just did a diagonal stitch. The way I had cut out this bag, it's already cut and ready. They're even pieces. This bag, what I would do is I would cut it out, and then I'm going to measure it and cut it out where I have 2 equal pieces to make the bag. I cut the bag out that we're going to be working on in the video. You need lining material, whatever goes with the bag. You need to cut it out the same size as your bag. And you also need tabs for your zipper. And you can cut those out 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and you would need 2 of those. Now we need to get our zipper ready. So you want to measure your bag, the top where the zipper is going to go, and this one measures 4.5. So because of the vinyl and everything, we don't want to go over the zipper, so I like to make them about 1 inch shorter. So I will make a 3.5 inch zipper. So we take those tabs that we made, we fold them in half and press them, and then fold the sides in. So this would be the end of your zipper, and you're just gonna stitch that on. Then you're gonna measure up 3.5 inches. And remember, make sure before you cut it, your zipper is in the zipper part, not off where you're cutting it. So then you would cut this and apply the tape here. So you end up with a 3.5 inch zipper. For my zipper tab on this one, I just used brown material because I thought it matched some of the lining. I already attached the 1/8 inch double-sided tape. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay that down. I'm going to unstick that, lay that down, and that will stick in the center. And then I'm going to lay one of the lining pieces over and use my clips, and I'm going to stitch all the way down here. After stitching the 1/4 inch, we need to put the lining down. Now, we need to finger press, because remember, we can't press this vinyl anyway. So if you kind of finger press this really well, then what we do next is run a top stitch real close to the zipper. Now we have to attach the bag to the other side of the zipper. So I'll just remove the paper, and we want to center it again. And again, we need to fold it in with the lining. So we will, and we're going to stitch with the zipper foot a 1/4 inch, and we are going to back stitch at the beginning and end. So we want to do what we did to the other side. We want to bring the lining down, and we need to finger press this good. And then I'm going to go back to the machine and top stitch it just like I did on this side. Okay, this is important. Now we need to make sure the zipper is opened. I've done it a few times and it's almost impossible. to turn a bag. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the two vinyl pieces together. We're going to stitch a 1/4 inch around it. Now, when it comes to the zipper here and lining, we need to line this up and make sure that the zipper goes toward the lining. That right here, this is toward the lining. So we're going to stitch this a 1/4 inch, and it's really good to have a zipper foot on to do it. And we're going to stitch around the bag both sides. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start here, we're going to stitch, we're going to come around here, stitch all the way around, and we're going to finish here. So we're going to back stitch at the beginning and end, and we're going to leave this open. Now this is the smallest bag I've ever done, and it does turn. It's quite hard, so we're going to really try to leave a good opening there. And what I like to do on my bags, when I'm stitching the lining part, I like to stitch a little over a 1/4 inch. But when you're stitching the bag, stitch a 1/4 inch. And this just makes the lining fit a little better in the bag, so there's not a lot of bulk left. So now we're almost ready to turn the bag, but we do need to clip the corners, and I will clip down here in the lining. I'm not going to box the corners on this one, but if you were going to, I would cut my boxes out so you could do it. This is the time to do it. So now I am ready to turn it. So to finish up the bag, all we need to do is top stitch where we turned the bag. And you can do it by hand. I do like to do that too, or do an 1/8 of an inch top stitch there. And then we tuck it in the bag. Since I've made so many bags, I wanted to try a little variation. I stitched this down without the vinyl on it. And I thought the bag might come apart, but it didn't. So now I'm going to go put the vinyl on and see what difference there is. So I have put the vinyl on, and actually it is smoother. Here's the example with the vinyl on first and stitching second. I think it doesn't really matter. I like them both. All the bags I've done, I've always done them this way, but I actually think I would do them this way just as much. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Now you'll be able to make your own. I want to ask everyone to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.